Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between towering mountains and dense forests, there was a legend whispered among the locals, the legend of the Phantom Caller. It was said that on the darkest nights, when the moon hid behind the clouds and the wind whispered eerie tunes, the Phantom Caller would roam the streets, his ghostly voice echoing through the silence. Nobody knew where he came from or what he wanted. Some said he was the restless spirit of a lost traveler, seeking vengeance for his untimely demise. Others claimed he was a malevolent entity, feeding on the fear of those unlucky enough to hear his dreadful call. One chilly autumn evening, a group of adventurous friends gathered around a crackling bonfire, sharing tales of the supernatural. As the night grew deeper and the fire burned lower, they dared each other to call upon the Phantom Caller, challenging the legend that had haunted their town for generations. With nervous laughter and trembling hands, they formed a circle and began to chant the mysterious incantation rumored to summon the Phantom Caller from the shadows. The air grew heavy with anticipation as they waited, their hearts pounding in their chests. Suddenly, a bone-chilling wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing the flames and plunging them into darkness. From the depths of the forest, a faint whisper echoed, a sinister voice that sent shivers down their spines. Terrified, the friends huddled together, their eyes wide with fear as the Phantom Caller drew closer, his haunting melody growing louder with each passing moment. They could feel his icy breath on their necks, his ghostly presence looming over them like a specter of death. With trembling hands, they fumbled for their phones, desperate to call for help, but to their horror, they realized they had no signal. Trapped in the grip of the Phantom Caller, they knew they were alone, at the mercy of whatever malevolent force had been unleashed upon them. As the night wore on, the friends grew weary, their bodies drained of strength by the relentless assault of the Phantom Caller's unearthly power. With each passing hour, their minds began to unravel, consumed by fear and despair. Just when they thought they could bear it no longer, a figure emerged from the darkness, a lone wanderer who had heard their cries for help. With a swift motion, he brandished a gleaming blade, driving back the Phantom Caller with a courage born of desperation. But the danger was far from over. As the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, revealing the true horror that lurked in the shadows, the friends realized the terrible truth. The Phantom Caller was not a mere legend, but a very real threat that had claimed the lives of countless victims before them. With a newfound sense of urgency, they joined forces with the mysterious stranger, determined to rid their town of the malevolent entity that had plagued it for so long. Armed with courage and determination, they ventured into the heart of the forest, where the Phantom Caller's lair awaited them. The air grew thick with anticipation as they entered the eerie darkness, their hearts pounding in their chests as they braced themselves for the final confrontation. With each step, they could feel the presence of the Phantom Caller drawing closer, his ghostly voice echoing through the trees like a harbinger of doom. But they would not be deterred. With a mighty roar, they charged forward, their weapons drawn and their spirits unbroken. And as the first rays of sunlight pierced the darkness, they unleashed their fury upon the Phantom Caller, driving him back into the depths of the forest where he belonged. And though the battle was hard fought, and the scars would linger for years to come, the town was finally free from the grip of the Phantom Caller, his reign of terror brought to an end by the bravery of those who dared to stand against him. But as the years passed and the legend faded into memory, the townsfolk would always remember the chilling tale of the Phantom Caller, a reminder of the darkness that lurked in the shadows, waiting to claim its next victim in the dead of night.